How do you feel about other forces or other, the government or people speak about reptilians or darker forces that might be want to get involved in this or find their way in or try to
Of course,
disrupt
everything
or
they can. That's their job. Okay, I don't care about those guys. Uh, they never win, and they're not going to win now. In fact, they've already lost. If you really know what is going on deeply in the underpinnings of the earth and what's happened and all the levels of it, it's over. It's we have won this game. We are all going to ascend. It's going to be perfect, and it's the reptilians and all. In fact, the reptilians right now. I'm speaking with different levels of them right now, very, very high levels, some of the highest levels they've got, because as Melchizedek, we don't take sides. There's only one spirit moving through all life everywhere. And so our purpose is to make all life be successful. And we just don't judge who is good and who is bad. And the reptilians have a problem. They've been around hundreds of millions of years, and they are still in battle and war, and they've dropped their female side, and they don't know how to make a living Merkaba. And if they don't do something very quickly, they will not exist. They simply will not exist. And I don't want to see that happen either. I would like to.
What is their choice right now? What are they thinking of doing?
Well, up until just a few weeks ago, they really didn't believe any of this was true. They just didn't believe it. And now, because of the way the cycles are forming and what they're seeing and what they're getting from all the rest of creation, they're realizing they made a mistake and they have to do something. The Greys did something, which is underneath the reptiles. They created a race between us and them so that they could, they put their brain into this race and they put our heart into this race so that they could have both male and female and create a Merkaba. And that race actually will survive in the future and go through. The Greys die. They no longer exist after this, and they know that's going to happen. But their memories and their wisdom of what they have is now in this other race. And the human race, our heart, our emotional body, which is really just as powerful as their brain, survives in this race, and they make it through. Bashar is one of those people. If you know who Bashar is, Daryl is the thing. He is coming from 300 years in the future, coming back here to make a few little changes in us so that it's better for all of us as we go through. Primarily, we're too serious. They're trying to lighten us up, so we don't take this so seriously and realize that we are already masters. We're old. We've done this before. This is nothing new. We did have a bump on our head, and we've kind of forgotten a lot of things. But when it comes right down to it, we're going to remember exactly who we are and what this is about, and it's going to be fine. And so he's coming back here to try to just let us relax and be more childlike and be happy what's about to happen, because this is a huge thing that's about to occur. It's as positive as you could possibly get.
How are those communication happening? On which level are they happening with the reptilians? When you're saying I'm talking to them and this and I'm having these conversations, how is that? On which plane are we talking about? How is the communication?
Initially, I had no contact with them ever before until recently when I was, I don't actually want to say where I was, but I was in the South Pacific area, and in there they came in 3 times and tried to kill me, and I mean seriously, really, really tried to kill me, and it didn't work, which blew their minds. And through that, because I survived those things, they then came back in here. They actually came to Sedona, and they're in physical form. They're male. They're men, but they are. They're not really. They're reptiles in human form. I know this, and they knew a lot of things that had happened during that time that no one would know but me, and they knew exactly what had occurred, and so did I. I mean, we entered into a war I was not fighting them. They were trying to kill me, but in them trying to kill me, it destroyed about 9/10 of their fleet. They did it themselves. They shouldn't have done what they did, and they didn't understand the nature of what they were getting into. This is a funny thing about the reptiles as I'm beginning to understand who they are. Their technology is awesome. They really, really, really understand technology. But on a human, common sense level, they're really dumb. They don't get things on a really simple level, and that's why they keep losing all the time. They have been fighting humankind for about 200,000 years, ever since we've been here, and they have lost every single time. When we get to this weak points where we're at the end of the precession of the equinoxes, every time we get to those points, we are weaker than normal, and that's when they always attack us. This is written down in when Hermes in the Emerald Tablets 2,000 years ago. He talked about this, and so now anyway, they're trying to figure out what to do, how to survive, yeah. And but in their surviving, if they do survive, they can't continue in the way that they are now. They would have to make a deep change within themselves.